I'm Gabi. My pronouns are he, they, and I play lead guitar.
I'm Sam. I use they, them pronouns, and I play tenor saxophone.
My name's Ko. I go by he, him pronouns. I play guitar.
I'm Samara. I go by she, her. I'm not as cool as them. I just sing and stuff.
My name's Henry. I play alto sax for the band. I use he, him pronouns.
My name's Peyton. I go by he, him pronouns, and I play trumpet.
Can y'all tell me who we're missing from the group here today?
Yeah, currently we're missing Nazer, who plays bass, and Michael, who plays drums.
So, where did the name Aurora Ave come from? Is that a touchy subject?
Literally, this is a question that everybody asks me.
It's a little bit of a PR nightmare. The idea came from the fact that when I was picking everyone up for rehearsals, I would go right down Aurora. I'd pick up Nazer, kind of go off to pick up Sam, and then Dominique, who was formerly in the band, she also lived off that street. So I'd just be going up and down that street kind of during the inception of the band. And I don't know who brought up Aurora Ave, but I just agreed because I thought it was just a great idea.
I think we feel like we came to a name pretty quickly. Yeah. I think we are stuck with it now. I think some people, but it's become funny because it's like if you don't know, it's a street in Seattle, but the name is very like euphoric and chipper and joyous. The alliteration of it, and it's like local and like the way we were like connected, but it's also cool because it's like the dichotomy is the street like doesn't totally like live up to its very whimsical name.
So y'all met in high school, right? During the height of the pandemic. How did social distancing regulations and just COVID generally affect the formation of the band?
Yeah, it was crazy. So I think a lot of us just missed music because a lot of us were like in band in high school. And so we missed that connection of like playing with other people. And we were trying to find a way to fill that void. And so Ko just posted on his Instagram story like, yo, who's trying to jam? Like, let's hang out. And the way we started playing was we were just in Ko's front yard, just straight up like out. And it was actually really nice because, people would walk by. We got to engage with the community and people would be like, oh, you guys are like a band. This is really, really sweet. And we got like good feedback starting off. And so it was good. And then the winter hit and then we had to practice outside still in the Seattle winter. And that sucked. But no, it was a really great way to connect and kind of, we made it work. It really wasn't a big deal to us, I think. We had the whole masks and everything. You can see in our first ever live like video performance, we're all wearing these crane masks, which is like kind of our logo now.
Yeah, what did that feel like to come back out of isolation and quarantine and then come together through music? Like, can you give me some like descriptor words of like those first couple yard jam sessions?
Dude, it was just honestly so much fun.
Yeah,
like,
it's refreshing.
I feel like the thing is I honestly didn't know these guys that well because they're all a grade above me. And I was like, dang, these guys are all super cool. Like I was just having a blast playing with them. It was kind of like an amazing way to get out of being so isolated. It was like euphoric. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like we all just had really good musical chemistry right off the bat.
Yeah, and like I think we got in the like years like following that, we got to like participate in a bunch of really cool like Seattle centric music events. Like post quarantine or like kind of still in the heart of the pandemic with like we did a thing at Museum of Pop Culture called Sound Off, and it also had that kind of same like feeling of like, and we did a thing at the more theater that was amazing, both kind of right out of the heart of that, and it was like great transition and bringing us back into that space. It's how we met Samara.
Yeah, one thing I forgot to mention is like when we were first recording demos, right, because it was still peak of the pandemic, we literally couldn't even be in one room. So the way it was set up was Ko had his basement and we'd have the horns playing like through the screen door into the basement on the outside, right, to track the horns. And so I think that actually prepares us a lot because now we're not all together all the time for the school year. We're all at separate colleges. So our workflow now, I think we've gotten used to being able to like record independently and put everything together versus maybe if we hadn't started like that, it would have been a weirder transition.
What does the name Ethan Thomas mean to you all?
This is a great interview. I love this. Yeah, that's a deep cut. Ethan Thomas is the majority of our music teacher in high school, at West Seattle High School. He kind of taught a lot of us how to be like social in music and learn that music isn't just about how good you are, but it's about how community-based music can be. I think that's the lesson that he really like harped on us because he was never worried about teaching us like intense music theory or assigning like research papers on other artists. Like a lot of other music directors do that in high school, but he was just like, yeah, let's come together, let's make music fun.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's a really good point, because I remember like I played like trombone in band or whatever, and I could barely play, but I still enjoyed it just because like the community was so good at West Seattle High School. I feel like, yeah, the band atmosphere, he really did a great job making the music feel like a community.
Any musical mentor shout outs from those of us who were involved with Mr. Thomas?
Yeah.
Church, gospel, R&B, my grandpa, my grandma, my family, all of them.
Shout out Shane Henderson at Ingram High School for the tough love. And then also Peter Daniel, saxophone player in Seattle, based in Seattle, was my teacher for a year. Yeah.
Yeah, shout out Ethan Thomas. Great guy. He's come to a bunch of shows since he was at the last one at Numos over the summer.
It's really beautiful and inspirational how communal y'all's music is, and how the heart of it seems to be like connection through COVID. Or like, I was a band kid in high school too, so I understand the feeling of like an early morning in the band practice room when you're like 15 is like unmatched community. I want to feel that again, you know, setting up the janky music stands, whatever. So how has the band evolved and persisted through going off to college, through the pandemic? Like, you've had lots of hurdles that you've seemingly navigated really smoothly, but I'd love to just hear more about, you mentioned you're all at different schools. If you could talk to just how it's transformed through that.
Well, originally it was pretty easy to get all of us together considering COVID and all that. Just to get 8 people in a front yard was easy enough back then. And then school came around, eventually in-person school. We had our old lead singer who went off to Utah. We had Sam go off to Ohio, and we had Henry go off to LA. And there were still 5 of us in town. So we had 2 horns gone and a lead singer. Now, for that school year, we could still kind of keep it together and play gigs. We had our lead guitarist, rhythm guitarist, or keys / vocalist. We still had 1 horn with myself, and then we had a bassist and a drummer, Nazer and Michael. So for that year, it was still pretty solid. We could carry out gigs and work throughout the year. And then we could also do the programs such as More Music at the More, and whatever came with that as well, a couple music festivals. And then we met Samara. Our old lead singer left, and we could afford to still play with Samara. And nowadays, last year, Ko and Gabi have now left, so we can't really do that throughout the school year. So the recent challenge has been, how do we keep making music while we are literally all stretched thin across the country? And that's kind of where we are today. So that's kind of how it's evolved.
Yeah, I mean, I think what we've kind of switched to is like just making the most of the time we have together. So I feel like for this summer, we really went hard. We did our first tour, right? And that was like just such a fun time. We put like a bunch of shows, and so our kind of mentality is like, you know, make what we can when we're apart, and then it's like really, you know, okay, we have like 2 months together, or we have like winter break right now. It's like, let's make sure to book this show. Let's make sure to get the time we have together working. And then, like I said, you know, like we have a couple really talented producers in the band, like our drummer, Michael, and Ko are really good at production, all the technology aspect of it. So I think we've gotten pretty good at like, even like, I think our, not our newest single, but the single before that, Pearl, was pretty much recorded all across the country, right? Yeah. We recorded like my guitar in our dorm in Boston, you know, sax parts in LA. Yeah, it was crazy. So it was like, we've adapted in that we're, you know, kind of able to use our skill set and still record. It's definitely way harder. I can't lie about that. But I think, you know, just making use of the time we do have together, being really intentional about it, and then still writing and making music. And we always, like, Ko is like, this guy's a demon. He sends like 5 new demos like a week to the group chat. He's like, guys, check out this new demo, check out this new idea. And so it's like, you know, I think it works like, oh, I wrote this new part for this one song. We look at it in the group chat. That kind of is like the vibe we're going for these days. Yeah. So it's just, you know, being really intentional with the time you do have, and then just trying to keep it up over technology, using all that stuff. Yeah.
That's really creative and exciting to like push the bounds of what a band has to look like too, because so many good high school bands just fizzle out and disappear into the ether once college hits. So it's super dope. Samara, do you want to speak to how you joined?
Yeah, I want to hear your side of the story too.
Oh my gosh. Literally, it was like, I want to say beginning of, what year was it? 2023? When you guys asked me to.
Early 2023 was the show. Yeah.
Okay, we met each other in 2022 when we did the More, but I didn't get asked to be a part of the band until like a year later, I want to say. But I was literally going through it. I didn't know what I was doing with my life. And then all of a sudden I get this email from Aurora Ave asking if I wanted to be a part. And I was like, you know what? We performed before. We work well together. So why not? And I was kind of intimidated because I don't sing like that genre of music, or I didn't before, let alone listen to like it all the time, unless it's on the radio or something. But I thought it was cool, and it's been cool ever since. So yeah.
Sweet. Yeah.
I was just gonna say, like, I feel like we probably felt the exact same level of intimidation, if not more, trying to cook up the email to send you, because we were trying to be really professional. Like, we were close friends already. We'd known each other almost 2 years at this point, but we still felt like the stakes were so high. We need to sell ourselves right now and like say what a valuable, creative mind we think you are. And
It was overly
it probably was. I have that feeling. We probably stressed you out a little bit, but we were just so excited about the chance because we had been like in search of a great voice and that kind of like change for like a year and a half at that point. Just kind of playing this kind of skeleton band, as Peyton was describing, off and on. So it's been the most amazing friendship and creative process ever. So,
And the reason we chose Samara over anybody else was because we played with her. Kind of our role at that More music program was we were the only like band besides the Gooey Ducks.
A band with a core rhythm section to
Yeah.
kind of build all these
Yeah.
other solo artists off of.
So that program was a lot of pieces of our band with other solo artists or another group. So we'd work with Samara there, and then after that program, when Samara would get her own gigs, she would still use parts of our band to back her up. And I think kind of through that situation, we felt like she was our pick.
Totally. Yeah. Just like more collaboration as Aurora Ave grows. Yeah. Well, what can you tell me about your new single, Tokyo? What was the inspiration behind that?
I was kind of trying to figure out the next direction of the sound for the band. I've been listening to a lot more like poppy music recently, like a lot of funk too, and I wanted to take those best aspects but also throw in like the city pop horns and more like synthy aspects to it. And that's just from the production perspective of it all. And then in terms of the actual like dialogue of the story, it's kind of about like emotional unavailability and this kind of like dealing with like, okay, I'm so emotionally unavailable right now, but like I'm also kind of gating myself off from like an outside world that I could just be like doubting myself in my head the whole time, like that I'm not ready for a relationship or whatever. I bet a lot of people feel that way. So it's like I thought that was a good, relatable, and also just something that I was feeling at the time. And the funny story is I actually wrote that song about emotional unavailability and like called it Tokyo and stuff. And then like a few months after I wrote it, I got in a relationship with someone and I went to Tokyo. Like, wow. And so I kind of like, that was really trippy because I was like, I wrote a song about this and it's happening to me right now. It's crazy. So
manifestation.
Yeah.
Truly. Power of music.
Really manifested it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's when I knew it would be a banger. It's my new favorite song that we have out. And I'm not saying that for promotional reasons. I genuinely think it's one of our best songs.
Do any of you want to chime in about the songwriting process? Conceptually, lyrically, like, how does it feel for Aurora Ave to create a song?
I can speak to that. I wrote the horn parts. Yeah, I was just like, I think Ko is a huge machine when it comes to writing songs. He's like, that's he's like the machine that creates our sound, that creates the vibe. But it is nice because you can hear in all of our songs there's a little bit of each member kind of chipping in. I think, I don't know, especially at least for me when I was writing that, I was listening to a lot of like, I don't know, like yacht rock, but like Steely Dan, Asia, Peg, and that, I think at least when I'm writing, because I listen to a whole bunch of music, but when I'm writing stuff for Rav, I do like kind of the vibe that Ko is going for on Tokyo with just like a more retro thing. I think Aurora Ave, like a lot of our appeal is our 8-piece band, live band. We've got a full horn section, we've got a full rhythm section, kind of calling back almost to that era of like, not to be like, oh, we're just such good musicians, but like there is like like nowadays I don't have any hate for anyone, but like it just like there is like something to keeping like live music, like full musicianship, every member's involved, keeping that alive. And I think having this kind of retro song with like these like kind of cheesy sax solo and like it's nice. It's nice.
I love the callback to yacht rock, especially. Yeah, yacht rock is definitely one of the genres that inspired it for sure. Doobie Brothers and all that. Right. Yeah.
Could any of you, all of you, whoever wants to answer, give me Aurora Ave's sound in like 3 vague words? Like the weirder the better. What is your sound and your vibe?
I'll give you 2. Grocery store.
Grocery store. Yeah, that's like almost as bad as elevator music. Like,
I actually have gotten that compliment. Like I've gotten that, like someone, and he meant it genuinely. It was like, it's like, I have this sort of mutual friend who was like, yeah, I listen to your music, and he's like a finance bro, like with the internship on Wall Street, whatever. He said, it was just music that you could shop to, That's probably the favorite thing that my favorite thing that someone said to me. Yeah, I know, right?
That's so funny. I think this isn't like a weird word, but I feel like it's the good way to describe it is like familiar, like something that you feel like you've listened to before, but it's just something that's also like new to like genre wise, but like sonically, like what Sam was saying, we call back to all of our favorite genres from like 60s through the honestly like throughout those decades we try to pick our favorite sounds from there, and so we try to make it familiar and accessible while being fresh and unique too.
All right, going for like a crazy word here. I'd say like iridescent, because like the music to me, I feel like because there's so much happening because we have such a big band and everyone contributes, I think, a lot. And like most of the songs, like you're going to hear a little bit of everybody playing. There's just all these like colors coming up from the music. It's like, you listen to the chorus, but then there's like this one, line from like a trumpet or like a guitar, and you always hear this little flavor and colors kind of like bubbling out from the music. So there's just like a lot of like color and like iridescence and like shine to it, I guess, if that makes sense.
I think my word would be unique. Again, not because we're like all cracked musicians or anything like that, because our skill definitely varies in a wide range. I mean, for example, 2 people are going to school for music, and then I kind of just do this, But definitely unique because there is just so much like contextual flavor that it's just in different parts of different songs that just make it truly one of a kind.
Gregarious.
Ooh, good. No explanation.
Can you spell that for me, please?
I'm gonna get flamed. Gregarious.
Someone sounds right. Yeah.
I don't know. There's not really any words. It's kind of like a feeling. It feels like, I don't know. It feels like I'm on a cloud or something, or like I'm walking down the street with my hair flowing in the wind. You know what I'm saying? If I had flowy hair, but that's what it feels like. Okay, but no, because I could get some braids. Get my little boho braids going on. It'll be so nice. But yeah, that's it. Anybody else want to add or no?
That's perfect. Yeah, I was going to ask, what do you hope people feel at an Aurora Ave show? And that's a solid answer. Walking on a cloud, sparkly. If anyone has other thoughts of like what you hope listeners feel.
I think people really feel the energy that we're putting out, whether that be kind of not high strung. What would you say, like a lot of energy?
Energetic.
I don't know. Yeah, sure. They feel the highs and the lows of the energy that we're putting out, and it's really cool. It's like such a unique feeling where you're putting work in on stage. You're putting a lot of energy out there, and when oftentimes the crowd will receive it back to us, and it's like an echo chamber. It just goes back and forth, and it just keeps growing, and it's a super unique feeling.
Yeah, to me, I feel like for me, music is personally like storytelling. Like each song I get lost in, even if it's like instrumental, like I can just kind of imagine a whole world, and I just want for every song, the audience member to be like, wow, like I'm really getting immersed in this whole song. Like I'm seeing a whole story unfold. I'm really understanding what the song is about. So I just feel like, yeah, for them to have a connection to each song and like really have their own unique experience and feel like, see the story the music is telling.
Yeah, on that note, like yesterday we were working on the set list that we're going to play tonight. And I love when it just feels like it's a movie. Like it's just like we transition into like, not to sound cliche, but like when you transition from one song to the next, it's like, oh, that was like emotionally like nice. Like it felt right. And it's just a chord change that I can't really process other than how it makes you feel here. But it's like, oh, I like when we're telling a story and the audience goes, oh, I'm following.
Yeah, I know there's one moment in one of our songs. We just released like a live EP maybe a month or two ago. And one of the songs, Old Spark. In the last chorus, Samara just like belts, and it's just like the most amazing thing ever. Like the way I was describing it to Co. The way I was describing it to Co is I feel like I'm watching like a movie, like some like high school drama. Or, like I feel like I'm in a movie. Like when I hear her belting, like I'm like a character or something. It like puts me into like a story, like out of body. Like you know what I mean? Like I like get out of the like I'm not like playing the music. I'm like listening to it, and I feel like it's like like a character. It's just so cool.
And I think for our live shows too, I think it's important for everyone to see our chemistry as a band, because like most of us have known each other since, like I've known Henry since middle school, Peyton since like preschool, and then everyone else like I've known since high school, and it's been almost 4 years since we've all left high school. So that's that time added with the time we had in high school. We have a lot of chemistry together, and we laugh when we mess up, and we don't like get freaked out, and we all look at each other and say, oh, we messed up, but that's fine, that happens. Or someone will say something on stage that will make us all crack up. And I feel like our aesthetic as a band is kind of just this really fun group of people that likes to hang out with each other, and so I really hope that translates on stage as well.
Yeah, I totally agree with Co. I feel like I want people to see how much fun we're having, because we are, like, at least for me, I'm having a blast on stage. Like, all these guys are, I think we take the music seriously, but we don't take ourselves seriously at all. Like, we're on stage, me and Co will be all just messing around, like, making faces. Like, I mean, at rehearsal, it's like, I'll just be like, we'll just play some random stuff, like, that doesn't fit at all, just for fun. Like, throw in, like, it's just, it's a lot of fun. But, yeah, I agree with that. People to see how much fun we're having, because it's really just like a blast for us.
Facts. That just reminded me when I messed up that Beyonce song and I had to turn around and be like, what's the lyrics? Yeah. I was like, yes. That was so funny. But yes, on stage, I always feel goofy. So I always look at my fellow band members, and that usually makes me feel better. So yeah, hopefully the audience could see what you guys were talking about.
I think it makes it so much more accessible as like someone at the show, like to also have fun with y'all, instead of feeling like it's a totally transactional, like these are the experts and I'm like graced by it. It's like an honor to hear like awesome cohesive music like y'all's, but it's more fun when everyone's giggling and stuff, and it's like, oh yeah, this is fun. This is for the love of it. How was it going on your origami tour last summer? How did that feel?
Oh my gosh. It was fun. It was really fun. It was something different. I have attachment issues, so I just really missed my family a lot. Like, I really wanted to be home, but it was so fun. I would do it again. Probably not back to back, because it was a lot, but it was It was fun though,
The
like
bank account needs to refuel.
for real. But no, it was really fun. It was a different experience. Like, if hopefully anybody that's like that's in a band or just an artist period can experience going on tour, because you feel kind of, special, you know what I'm saying? So
I think it was also just super humbling, going to these cities that we've never played in before. Like, we're kind of just really connected with Seattle, and we feel like it almost feels like, oh, our audience is just in Seattle, and it's so hard to tell if anyone listens to us anywhere else. And so going on the road and meeting people that have been listening to the music for a while. I remember Gabi would do this thing at every show with people coming up, just asking them what their favorite songs were, and he'd get a bunch of different responses. And it was very, very, really interesting feeling, just knowing that the music escaped the bedroom and it's out there and anyone can listen to it, and people will show up even if it's like on a school night or if it's like a hour drive away from where they're living. It's super, super humbling.
Yeah, I was gonna say one of the most like surreal experiences of my life is like going. I think it was Whiskey a Go Go, or maybe it was Art Bar, but hearing people I've never met in my entire life before know my name, and then I was like, "What? That is crazy. That is insane." I remember after it was at the end of the Whiskey a Go Go set, this person had their like notes app up, and it was like, "Cohen Gabi, can I have your guitar picks?" And I was like, "This is like some movie. Like this can't be happening right now." That was like so cool. But for me, it was honestly like one of the most fun times I've ever had in my life. I feel like the energy is so different because it's like you're not doing anything but music. Like, you're there, your whole purpose is just music. It's literally just music.
We didn't do anything else.
Well, we did. You know what I'm saying?
How much Fortnite did we play?
Look, I can't speak. I was not tapped into the Fortnite like you guys. But you know what I mean? It's like I'd wake up, I'd work on the set, we'd like go rehearse, go play a show that night, repeat. Like, it was just, that was the entire focus.
no, me and Gabi went to sleep when it was time to go to sleep.
Yes, we did, Samara.
We went to sleep.
This dude Gabi, we didn't have a coffee machine or anything at Henry's apartment, so he would just drink cold water and coffee grounds. I was trying to convince people that it was like the best thing in the world.
We bought instant coffee for him day 2, and he just continued to eat grounds and water because I don't know if it became a bit or something. It just
Definitely nothing glamorous, for sure.
What was the most uncomfortable sleeping experience?
I was on the cots the entire time, so I was chilling. Michael was
in your car that first night, though.
damn straight.
Yeah.
Dude, the first night was crazy.
Michael was on the floor for like a week and a half, and I kept offering him to I'll sleep on the floor for a night or two if you want to sleep on the cot. He's like, oh no, I'm actually really comfortable. and then the other day, literally like 2 days ago, he's like, I don't miss sleeping on the floor. Like, I offered this to you.
For context, we were sleeping 10. We were sleeping 12 if you include my 2 roommates in a 2-bedroom apartment in LA. So the 8 of us, camera, and my roommates.
Wow. Committed.
The first night, I don't know how y'all got this connect. We're sleeping in like the office for like a kayak rental place or something. I don't know what it was, but it was in the middle of like Oregon, like woods of Oregon, like very like like you could see all the
a magical name too. The town was called
Merlin, Oregon, yeah, and you could like see all the stars. Like, there's no like pollution. It was like very out there, and like I'm so grateful they let us stay there. Like, it was so kind of them, but like it was dusty. There was like spiders like on the floor. Like, I think Samara had to just leave, right? You just slept in the. Oh, there was this is not a reflection on the quality. I'm sure they're a great business. I'm sure they do wonderful rentals. Shout out. But just I don't think it was made to house a band for sleeping.
Right,
but it was
right.
So that was an interesting time sleeping there.
We look back on it fondly. We do.
Thank you, August Tolsman and Katie, for hosting us.
Oh. Well, I was going to ask if y'all have any pre or post show rituals that maybe don't include coffee grounds, raw.
Samara leads one.
I pray. Well, we pray. It's always good to invite God in whatever you do. And plus, I have very, very severe anxiety. So I have to pray and like get my mind right. And I'm glad that they want to join. So yeah.
What I always say with is we each take one AirPod, turn on the metronome app on your phone, and then we'll like run through a song together unplugged, just like top to bottom. It's like a really great way to just like get into the flow, pretend we're playing. And also like I'll just listen to my favorite music. Like 'cause I also get really bad nerves sometimes. And if I put like my favorite music on and I'm like getting into it, it's like, oh yeah, like this is what music is about. Like I'm so into this. Like I have to channel this energy on stage and it'll be good.
Yeah, I think Samara said it like the huddle and the prayer beforehand, just like getting everyone's minds right, and anything that we were trying to remember, like, okay, don't forget to plug this, plug that tonight. Let's bring the energy. Here's what was like a tripping point during rehearsal, and then we always have like a really nice set list to like keep all of our heads on straight.
Totally, like dipping into that flow state. What about after the show? How do you celebrate?
I need a sweet treat. I need a sweet treat after a gig.
Do you have a favorite venue that you've played and a dream venue to play?
And no one say Madison Square Garden.
No, yeah. Well, I would. So we have a great relationship with the Seattle Theater Group. I'd really like to play the Paramount. Yeah.
I would say Numos was probably when we played Numos just recently, like this summer. That was really good. Would love to do KXP in studio session. Hit us up if you're listening. Shout out Kennedy. Hello Troy Nelson. Yeah. Okay.
Shout out Kennedy. We love Kennedy.
Yeah, Kennedy.
All the time.
Actually the GOAT. I think it's like a tie for me between there's this venue in Tacoma called the Spanish Ballroom we played. Beautiful venue, but I guess what like makes every venue special is the audience. I think we just had such good crowd engagement. Like one of our songs, we had a little sing along section, and that was like one of the first times where really that song is like you could hear the full audience blurring back the lyrics to us, and that was like so surreal. And I think my other favorite one was UW puts on they do a thing called Fall Fling, and they like invite artists, and that was a really really fun one because like the campus has like all the cherry blossoms around fall. And so it's just really cool seeing like the whole student body there. And actually, like I'm excited for this too. I always feel like kind of shows around colleges where the students get involved. They're like the energy is just so good.
I think my favorite show was the Whiskey A Go-Go show in LA. Just I had a bunch of friends from school that pulled up, which was really awesome since I'm used to seeing them on the other coast, and so seeing them in LA was really really special. And just the fact that since I do go to music school, that they were able to come and just show support, especially in an environment that's pretty intimidating when it comes to music and appreciating people, which should change. I feel like that's stupid, and you should just enjoy stuff that you enjoy. But yeah, that was a great show. We met a bunch of fans. Yeah, the engagement was really cool, and that just, I don't know, it was a good show of our hard work too, because we did a really good job promoting that show, and also just people in LA, they decided that was the only thing that they could do that night, so that was really cool. Dream venue, I want to do the Middle East in Boston. Yeah. Have you played yet? No, but I think we have to do something in the East Coast somehow. It'll be expensive getting all of us out there, but just that would be a really cool show. New York would be awesome. Yeah. Brooklyn Bowl.
My favorite venues is Madame Lou's, Numos, and I get, yeah, Whiskey A Go-Go was cool, but those are my top two. And then my dream venue would be an arena, the Climate Pledge Arena, sell it out, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, sell it out, nothing, not too much, up there. But no, I think that would be nice.
I want to say my favorite show that we played had to have been the Whiskey A Go-Go. Number one, it's like an elite venue, a lot of history there. Number two, I got to see a lot of my family from SoCal that I don't usually get to see, and then them not only getting to see them, but them watch me play, and then just like I got so many positive reactions, whether they were lying or not. It was just, I don't know, it was super wholesome for me. And then I also got to meet so many cool people down there that night.
I actually have to give a shout out to Blue Room because our last Blue Room show was crazy. The fans were. That was my runner-up. I think we like gave the mic out to the fans and we heard them singing. Yeah. And that's always stuck. That's like my favorite thing ever is hearing people sing along with the song. So I'm like, that's just like something we wrote in like a yard, and you know the lyrics well enough to sing it back to us by memory. That's like so crazy. So and the vibe was great. The sound, people are great. Blue Room is really great too. Yeah, amazing view. Yeah, super awesome.
Samara handed someone the mic, and he just started like belting into it like.
Saved my life.
Yeah. Killed it.
That's why he had it for so long, because I needed to catch my breath. And my voice was finna crack. I was like, yeah, no, you can have it.
Help you out. So what's next for y'all? Big scheme, and also just like today.
Well, we're gonna kill the show tonight. Hit Palmenis. But yeah, we're gonna do that, and then after the show, just keep working on new music. We got a lot of stuff that we want to get done. Hoping for some substantial progress by the end of the year in terms of releases and just a game plan with projects and stuff.
We're filming a music video this weekend.
Whoa.
Yeah. Super excited for Tokyo. We're filming that Sunday all day. And it's going to be really cool. And like I think that's my other goal for the year is like more other forms of like art/media that the band's been putting out. We've been doing a lot more content and like high quality stuff and videos. Tonight we're releasing our first compilation CD. Sam did the artwork for it all. It looks amazing. So I think just more pushing just more of everything.
Yeah, not to give too much away, but we have a lot of kind of like demos, bare bones stuff done that we're kind of working on bringing to like that final polished stage. And there's a lot of music, so maybe we'll see what happens in the summer. Maybe later this year, stuff could be happening. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to like say anything.
Yeah.
Don't set anything up. We're good at
but
pushing a release.
but we have a lot of music to work on.
Next 5 years.
Big things coming soon, guys.
At least one album in the next 5 years.
I'm saying this.
The A word. Mixtape, sorry.
No, you know what I got reminded of though? The music video, our previous music video, that is a really important show to me because we played with Winona Forever. I don't know if anyone knows them, but they're like an amazing indie band. They're like one of my all-time favorites, and I remember listening to them in like sophomore year of high school, like all like super inspired, and then getting to play that show with them and film our music video with them. That was like the most surreal full circle moment too. So yeah, I'm really excited. That music video is super special to me, and I think the Tokyo one's going to be really great too. So keep an eye out. Yeah. And yeah, we have a website, auroraave.com. Yeah. We do indeed have merch, yeah.
Yeah, new merch in 2025. The CDs will be up soon too if you are a physical media nerd like we are. So
Like KUGS is. Too.
Like
We're all
KUGS, we
physical
love
media. Yeah. Where can people find you to listen to you?
We're on all streaming platforms, so Apple Music, Spotify. We have Tidal, true.
I don't know.
Pandora, maybe. I don't know.
Anywhere you can find music.
Anywhere you can find music. We
Awesome.
have Instagram, Aurora Ave, the band, TikTok.
Bandcamp. You can pay us.
That's
would be
true.
Awesome. Yeah.
Music is hard to make sometimes.
'Cause we've been going through something.